Well, we're going to work on the cylinder heads today. We're going to take and rough them out, and I got the material squared up here. So what I plan on doing is roughing it out on one end, then flipping it over, and then roughing it out on the other end. What I mean by roughing it out is going to be complete except for the valve holes and the intake port and the exhaust port on the sides. That will do on the manual mill. So I'm in the process of loading up the program and checking everything out. And we'll start out by milling the profile and the top of the head of the cylinder head. And I'll kind of show you what the program is going to do. I will draw it here. I put an undersized cutter in there so I could see all the lines, but if I go in and set the cutter to the size, I'm going to use a 3/8 cutter. So if I go over here and change this to a 3/8, I had a 50 thou in there, just so I could see the path. Now if I draw it with a 3/8, you'll see, and that's what's going to be left on the top, and there'll be the two valve, and the spark plug will be in here. So it'll be a valve, and then the spark plug hole, and then naturally the other holes around the outside. So I'm in the process of setting up, like I said. So we're over here, and what I plan on doing is just setting it up in the vise. Probably put a 1/2 inch parallel underneath. Doesn't really need to be raised up any higher because the cylinder head is only, I think, a 1/2 inch thick. So I'll set it like that, and I'll put a stop up here, and we'll do the one side, and then I'm going to keep this to the back, and I'll just flip it like that, and then do the other side. And then when we get done, I'll go over and finish the valve ports, and I'll flip it on the side and do the is it the intake ports that are straight out? I believe it's the intake ports, and then the exhaust ports are at an angle, so the block will be sitting like that and at an angle, and we'll come in and put them in. So what I need to do is get a stop set, and then I'll pick up this edge, pick up that edge, the back edge, and we will be ready to, and then get it end milled naturally. I don't know if that's a 3/8 that's in there or not, but when I'm ready to start milling and making chips, I'll be back. Okay, I ran the flood coolant on manual here just to make sure everything is working. Taking a little while to pump it up. I don't have a check valve in it, so if I'd put a check valve in it, it wouldn't do that. So we are ready to give her our first try. So reset my console or my software, and that don't look right. Z is not correct. And I'm going to drop her down a couple hundred. Oops. Drop her down a couple hundred, or 3 or 4. And I'm going to reset my Z, I guess. Alright. Return to 0. That's not right either. That's, we're off this way and we're on that way. What, did I forget to zero something? Let me set zero return, see if it just lost its zero. This is going to go to the max, to the over travels, and then move a specific number back and it should be zero. It should be that corner. That's right. Right on the corner. Alright. So, got a little boo-boo here somewhere. Let's move over. And then I'm going to move up 1 inch because that's what my height setting tool is. So I'm going to turn relative on and move Z up 1 inch. So now we're setting that Z 1 inch. So now I should be able to crank my knee up until the light lights. And that should be our zero. Well, it should be 1 inch. There's 1 inch. Okay, let's try this again. There's the camera on. There we go. So here we go again. Try it one more time here. Come over to this corner and drop down to. Yeah, it looks more like it. That cutter almost sounds like it needs to go into the sharpening barrel too. Holding up a little bit of a burr. Yeah, it's not too bad. Come on, cool it. I'll get my foot ball. I need to buy a new coolant pump, that's all there is to it. That pump is not reliable. Should be at 100, I think 140. Yeah, no. Yeah, right around 140 deep, I think. I can't remember what the numbers are. That was the finish passer on it. Now we're just a big diameter. Big diameter, well, just a diameter. Not big. Then I'll have to change tools to a spot drill. I think what I'm going to do is just spot drill everything and then go over to the conventional and drill the holes. So I'll just run the spot drill around on it. I wish I had a quick change for the tools, but I don't. So it makes it kind of a hassle here. First cut, now it's down deeper. I went deep enough so I can part them off with a slitting saw again. Or a woodruff cutter. Fast. Okie dokie. That's one side now. Do I want to just go ahead and do the other side? And then I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do. Is just go do the other side. I think I'm just going to flip it over, do the other side, and then come back with a spotting drill. And the spotting drill will go around, drill or spot drill the outside, the mounting holes. It should spot drill the spark plug hole, and it should spot the two valve holes. And then, like I say, I think I'll just go over to the mill, the conventional, and do that, put those in by hand. Otherwise, changing the tools here kind of sucks. Although I could go ahead and yeah, I could do here. I could put the drill chuck in here, I suppose, and I'll think about it. I'm gonna vacuum this off and do the other side, which will be the same as this, and then I'll think about it, and then we'll come back. Okay, I put a spot drill in drill chuck. Now I got to reset my height. We're sitting, according to the council, we're 1 inch above. I gotta move it back a little bit so I can crank. Sorry, you're in the way of the crank. There we go. Bring that up till she touches. Right there. Pookie. All right, so we should be ready to go right there. So here goes nothing, I guess. Where you going? There's nothing there. Where you going? Let me look at it again. C minus 35. Should have been an X. I think it's missing a GO here. G0. Alright. Now, let's try it. I'm going to move this back up. And we're going to try it again. Reset. I'm alright. Okay, we got something. We got something hosed up in the program there. I'm going to cut away and try to figure it out. I thought it was just missing a G rapid travel, but it's not. That's actually missing the first position move. So I'll figure it out and I'll be back. Okay, hopefully I got it all figured out. Got to set my height here. I got a 1/4 inch spot drill in. Set my height, set it on top here. Touch, and then I'm going to drop it back down a little bit because it's just so it doesn't go full depth. All right, so here we go. Wow. I'm going to drop it a little more. It's a little deep. That's better. We can flip it around. And make sure it ain't sitting on some chips when I put it back in there. We'll just keep it at the same orientation. and just flip it over against that, and we'll do it again. I'm going to tell it to go to 0. Tell it to return to 0. Come over here, it should drop down. And we're going to stop right there. Now I got to decide if I'm going to drill them here or not. So I could change the drill and drill them here too. I don't know if I want to drill I don't want to drill the valve holes. Those are going to be a little bit touchy because I want to make them a press fit for the valve. Well, I could fudge the valve cages, I guess, too, if they oversized. But I want to decide that, so I'm going to cut away here, and I'll be back. Okay, I loaded the program back up and fired up the NC. I'm sitting at my 0. I'm sitting at X0, Y0, and Z 1 inch. So now I'm going to put that on there. I'm going to move over this way. I want to bring my knee up to touch that. Right there. I'm just going to move back to close to where the set point is. And we're going to reset. I'm going to have the squirt bottle here because I'm not confident that my coolant pump is just not working real well. Now it's going to come out over here. I have some point out here that it's wanting to drill. I got to put another clearance plane in because she's going to wipe it out right there. Let me check the program again. Back to edit. Why do I have... Okay, I got one move in here that's not so good. Alright, take that move out. Alright, that should do it. Move back up here a little bit. Alright, now it should stay at Z 1 inch. And move over to this stupid point. a move in there that is not good. I'll find it. I'm not sure. Alright, let's just change this one to 1 inch. 1 inch. And sometimes playing around, if you haven't ran the program, you probably run it, because I've never run this yet, so this is first time, and going through correcting things that I made a boo-boo on. Alright, let's try it again. See if we make it any further. I moved it to 1 inch and then, okay, so now it's checking that erroneous position out here. I didn't take that out. If I took that all out, it'd probably be alright. That hole was drilled over there. And that hole was drilled over there. I'm not sure what size spark plug I'm going to go with, so I'm not going to drill that either. What was so hard about that, right? Yeah, sometimes I like to torture myself, I guess. I don't know. I could have done it over there, but then I would have had, like I said, I would have had to put it in the vise and move it around to the positions manually, because I wasn't confident that that was drilling straight in. Pretty sure it was walking off. So I'll have two holes that are walked off to the... Alright. So we can do that again. Oh, scared me, so I hit the stop button. These are clearance holes for number 5 here. drilled a small hole for the valves too, not the counter bore. Well, I don't know, I might have an end mill to do the counter bore too. Maybe because whatever they end up, I can just make the belt gauges to press into. I'm going to get set up for the valve holes next. I don't know yet. I'm going to search around and look for a counter bore tool for it. It may do the counter bores also. I will be back. Okay, 2 small holes for the valves next here. That went all right. That was that's a dreamer, believe it or not. That tool, that's what it's called. It's called a dreamer. It's a drill and reamer. It's got 2 margins. One margin is for the drill and one margin is for the reamer. They actually drill pretty nice holes. They drill holes that are pretty close to right on as far as size. I don't know why they went away from those, but they used to stock them where I work pretty much in all the sizes, and they slowly went away from them, so I don't know why, because they seem to work pretty decent. I don't know if you can even buy them anymore. I've never looked up to see if you could still buy Dreamers. What a name, Dreamers. And like I said, a spark plug hole I'm not gonna do. Alright, now I'm gonna hunt for a counter bore tool. It's a 250, so I should have I could just go in there with a 250 end mill, but the trouble with going in with just a 250 end mill is you'll end up with the top of the hole bigger than the bottom of the hole most of the time. So I'm going to go in with a boring end mill if I can find one. So I'll be back. Okay, I got about a 245 boring end mill in there, and we'll see if we can't get it to work. No. I forgot to turn the spindle on. That wouldn't have been good. Okay, reset. I think it's going in with a counterbore tool, so it's pecking. Because I was actually going to go in with a drill and then ream it. Well, it seemed to work all right. Hopefully the hole sizes will be all the same, so that when I do the valve cages, that I can just make them all the same and not different. Last cut here. So ta-da! Boring end mill, just in case you didn't know, a boring end mill has the flutes ground back, so the widest point is out on the end, and then from there back, they're tapered back. You know, it's only tapered like half a degree or 1 degree. So it's so as you sharpen this end, that boring end mill gets smaller and smaller. But they work like a charm, because they'll cut whatever you have on the end. That's the diameter it's going to cut, and usually it'll cut right to that size, and you'll get a really nice hole. And I've used them. I've made and used all kinds of different sizes, so I do have a bunch of different sizes in my toolbox. But so. I was always going to set up and make some other, there's some odd sizes that I'd like to have yet, and I was always going to set up my tool grinder with a spin fixture and make some different ones. So, but I never have. So anyway, that's beside the point. I'm gonna go over, and what I'm going to do, I'll probably make the valve gauges first before I go in and put these side holes in. So I'll make the valve gauges next, and then we'll press them in place, and then we'll go and drill the intake port and the exhaust ports on it. And then after that, we'll slice her off. So I will be back when I'm over on the lathe making valve cages.